My name is Josh, and today I'm going to be doing a video on how to choose your first longboard, beginner longboard. There are a number of things to consider when you buy your first board, and that's really all I'm going to do. I'm going to give you some things to consider. For me, my first board was a blank Pentail with skateboard trucks, and I don't remember the wheels. There was no brand. It was not a brand name anything. We found it on Amazon, and there was no graphic. It was nothing. It was a plank of wood on a pair of skateboard trucks, traditional skateboard trucks. Can't speak. Needless to say, I didn't enjoy that board a whole lot. A lot of that reason was the main thing that I wanted to do when I first started longboarding was I just wanted to ride around and have fun, but I wanted the board to be more fun. So my first actual longboard was an Apex 34, the first generation model by Original Skateboards. It had S6 trucks and ABEC 11 zigzags, lime green. And if you don't know about Original Skateboards, and this isn't a sponsored video, I'm not being paid by them to do this or promote them, but their S6 trucks and their S8, their S-series trucks in general, there's an S6, an S8, and an S10. The S6 is kind of similar to like a 50 millimeter hanger, a 150 millimeter hanger on a truck. I believe that was right. Yeah. It's kind of similar to that. Except they have a wave cam and they have a spring. Now the spring is what makes the truck turn, almost like a bushing. Now what that did is it made the board, with the shape that it had, feel like a surfboard. And it was a lot more fun, and I enjoyed skateboarding and longboarding, and that was really the point of it, was the enjoyment. And it allowed me to progress. Now with those trucks, when I would do a hard turn, you could do a turn and like this kind of radius. It was incredible. And that's what really got me interested in it, because I'd make a hard turn going really fast and I would slide. And that's what sparked my interest in sliding. After that, because it was a very, very good longboard and trucks, and the setup was awesome, I began to outgrow it. I was looking for something different. I switched up to the S8 trucks, which were a bit wider. I believe it was 200 millimeters, which is long. That's a long truck. Again, the springs instead of a bushing, which is awesome. And I was riding that on the Apex 37 Carbon, and that was really my second actual longboard. And that's when I started to get more advanced. Now, the more I wanted to get into sliding, because I was using, I believe it was an orangutan. It was actually these ones over here. Over here. I still got them. I flat spotted the one on the bottom, so that's why I don't really ride them too much. But I like to use it every now and then. It's so fun. I'm trying to get that flat spot out. But I guess the trucks were a lot of fun for flat ground. Not so much when it came to bombing hills or busting out huge long slides, because it didn't feel as stable. That being said, they were very, very stable when it came to speeds. It was just when I wanted to do a lot of technical freeriding that I needed to switch over for myself to a traditional longboard truck, like a cast truck. And I believe the first one that I had was Bear Grizzlies 180 and a 50-degree hanger. I'm butchering this, 50-degree base plate with a 180 hanger. And that was really good, but it was a complete 180, like it was a total change from the S6 trucks and the S8 trucks. And that had a huge factor, which is why I believe that your setup and your board is very important when it comes to choosing your first longboard, your beginner board. The things that I believe you should consider are going to be, what kind of riding do you want to do? What is the environment that you live in? That's about it. what kind of riding do you want to do? For me, it was a number of things. I liked the entire list of longboarding. So there's like downhill and free riding. There's freestyle and dancing and carving and cruising, and yeah, there's a lot of different options. There's type sliding. A little type slide board over here. There it is. Get a little hand on it. I'll show you. There you go. I did draw that. The environment that you live plays a huge role, and the setup that you choose also plays a huge role. Now, I don't live in an environment with a lot of hills. I do have a few of them in my neighborhood, so when it comes to doing free riding, I do use a board that fits it. That being said, where my particular house is, there's not a huge amount of hills. So I want to use a board that is going to be fun to make me enjoy that environment more. I might choose the S6 or the S8 trucks from the original. I definitely like those, and I would like to get another set. But if you don't want to spend the extra cash on getting a spring-loaded truck from original, you could consider doing a Paris truck. Paris trucks make a great cruisy, carvy, traditional cast truck. This one is the 180mm V2 Paris 180s with the stock bushing. So you got the cone bushing up front. There you go. And you got the barrel bushing in the back over here. This one is a drop-through board, and what that does is it makes me a lot closer to the ground. So when it comes to pushing, I don't have to step down too far. Another thing that it is a very carvy truck, and the board is very springy. With that being said, the board has a lot of life when it comes to riding it. If you're getting into longboarding, what I liked, and the reason I did it, was because the board was flexy, it was fun, it was cruisy, it was carvy, and I could still do tricks on it. If that is your goal, I might suggest you go towards something like this. Maybe a carvy board, flex, 180-degree trucks. I prefer the 50-degree base plate, just for my environment, because like I said, there's not a lot of hills. You don't need to be that stable, and the bushing setup is just right for me. With that being said, the board is also very light, so it also allows me to have, when I want to do like freestyle tricks, like old school flip tricks, flipping the board is not hard. Now the camber, which is when the board is shaped like this, plays a huge role in that, because when I go to do a trick and I bounce down, the board acts like it's spring-loaded, and what it does is it bounces up and gives me a lot of power over my trick. It gives me a lot of height. It also has kicktails, so if you want to get into doing freestyle tricks, it's also a good deal. But overall, this board gives you a good kind of everything starting out board. And that was just one board that I particularly liked for the environment that I live in. If you're looking into getting a beginner board, I believe there's another board called the Anonymous Feather, which is pretty similar to this. I believe it's $150, whereas this one ranges in the 200s. This one was actually a graphic blend board, which is why I got it cheaper, and it was $160. Those two boards are very similar, and I do like the other one a lot. It's pretty nice. However, you want to get a board that is going to match the style of riding that you want. So if you want a downhill board, I do not suggest getting a cruisy, carvy, and springy and bouncy board. It's not going to work. So definitely do some research. There's multiple different types of boards. There's going to be downhill boards, freestyle, carving, dancing, anything. So consider the environment that you live, and also consider the type of riding that you want to do. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.